The amount of morons who think that US gave Israel nuclear weapons is too damn high. So no, the US didn't provide Israel with nuclear weapons. In fact, it did everything it could to prevent Israel from going nuclear. Okay, so let's talk about what really happened. You know who really kick-started the Israeli nuclear program? The French. The people who make good cheese, good wine, and eat snails. Those guys. You'll be even more surprised to hear that this was done by a French government headed by the left-wing, socialist, radical party, which was motivated by both moral and practical reasons. Just like eating snails. They know what they did. Like most good stories, this one starts with a conspiracy. In the 1950s, Israel and the US were meh, but Israel and France were best buddies. Well, maybe not that much. France was the principal arms supplier for the Jewish state, while Israel provided valuable intelligence as instability spread through the French colonies in North Africa, where Israel had many contacts through the Sephardic Jewish community. The cooperation between the two countries was so close that according to Lieutenant Colonel Warner D. Farr of the United States Air Force, the French nuclear test made 2 nuclear powers, not 1. Such was the depth of collaboration. And so, when Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal in 1956, France proposed that Israel attacked Egypt so that France and Britain could invade, posing as peacekeepers, with the intent of getting back the Suez Canal. In exchange, France would provide Israel with a nuclear reactor, plus a lot of other powers I'm not allowed to discuss. While this backfired quite spectacularly for Britain and France, the French stayed true to their promise. Yeah, I was shocked too. French Prime Minister Maurice Bourgès-Maunoury said at the time, "I gave you the bomb in order to prevent another Holocaust from befalling the Jewish people." It is widely believed that the words "never again" were welded onto the first Israeli nuclear warhead. Pretty epic. America was not happy. In 1960, the outgoing Eisenhower administration asked the Israeli government for an explanation for the mysterious construction near Dimona. Israel's response was that the site was a future textile factory, a top-secret textile factory. His successor, Kennedy, threatened Israel with total isolation unless inspectors were allowed into Dimona. Israeli Air Force Commander Dan Tolkovsky feared that Kennedy might send US troops to Dimona to do some serious inspection. After Kennedy's assassination, President Lyndon Johnson tried to prevent Argentina's sale of yellow cake to Israel. It wasn't until 1969 that the US relented under the condition that Israel didn't perform any nuclear tests. Although, However, France isn't the only country that helped Israel in its quest for nuclear power. In order to produce plutonium, Israel needed a large supply of uranium ore. So, in 1968, the Mossad purchased 200 tons from a Belgian mining company on the pretense of buying it for an Italian chemical company. Once the uranium was shipped from Antwerp, it was transferred to an Israeli freighter at sea and brought to Israel. Real spy stuff. Dinosaur out, yo!